Hey, Innies and Natties, this is FoxLogic, and I'm going to be really honest for about 12 minutes. I'm fat, and I'm cool with it. No, it isn't the ideal weight I want to be, but at this point, I'm still going to enjoy all that I can from life and not hold back just because I'm chubby. I'm not going to shame myself by quietly internalizing all of my image discrepancies and tell myself that I can't do something because I'm overweight. That is a horrible way to live, but it's a reality that I know I'm not alone in. It took me my entire teens and 20s to come to grips with the fact that I deserve happiness and that I shouldn't hang most of what I am allowed to do by the weight I happen to be at the time. If my internal voice tells me, oh, you're not allowed to date, you're not allowed to go out, wear that dress, get that job, wear those shoes, ask that person out because you're fat, what do you think I'm going to do when I eliminate all the things I want to do because I've told myself I'm not allowed to do them due to my weight? I eat. Who wouldn't? Eating is a quick fix and it makes you happy. Being expected to forego all the fun things you want to do because you're fat, well, that's just bullshit. But, now that I think about it, the only people who ever seem to bother mentioning my weight, other than my internal voices, are super macho cis men on the internet who ask me to suck their dick and are promptly declined, usually resulting in a, well, you're a fat cow anyway, lesbo. The only other major group of people who comment regularly on my weight are family members. People who are related to me. Like, somehow it is more offensive to the people I'm related to that I'm not skinny and sexy. You have publicly disgraced the family name with the vulgar volume of your belly, neck, and arms. This is something the family does not tolerate. Somehow my own family members are so obsessed with what weight I am, and if I'm looking sexy, more so than the people that it would actually matter to. Like, people I'm actually having sex with, or friends I don't have sex with, or friends I do have sex with, or people who I am generally just weird around and it doesn't really matter to them because we get along or work together, so whatever. I have a whole horde of people who think that I'm awesome, fun to be around, sexy, inspirational, overall, what they perceive as confident and comical. Nobody even mentions my weight. I have never heard in my entire life, oh, sorry, Fox, you're fat. We can't hang out. I've also never heard, yeah, see, we only hire people under the pant size of 6. Sorry. I'm pretty sure if any employer ever said that they only hire skinny people, they would be blasted into oblivion on the internet. Just for fun. The people who mean serious business may even try to sue them. So why does it mean so much to my family that I'm fat or skinny? Well, oftentimes I hear, well, we just want you to be happy. We want you to be healthy. Well, sit down, let me tell you. Badgering somebody over their weight does neither of those things. In fact, it does the opposite to such an extreme extent that people can develop long-lasting emotional scars that lead to crippling depression later on, leading to more fat. I have heard many of my friends say that the roots of their self-image issues never came from magazines or movies. Most of the damage is done at home by somebody they know, somebody close to them. It's almost like something else I know that's similar to this. I have known people who are very close to me tell me that they continue to struggle with family members over their weight. Some people have even been so far as excommunicated from their family for having gained weight. Some still struggle with deeply internalized emotional trauma that has caused painful depression now that they're adults. Being told that I am fat by my family members gives me extreme amounts of claustrophobia, like I am being shoved into this little box of their approval rather than my own, which is shit. Constantly pestering people about their weight does not lead to weight loss. If it did, then holy shit, market that right now. But don't, because it won't actually work and everybody will think that you're just an asshole and you'll just end up embarrassing yourself. Actually wait, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. I believe in you. I will lose weight when I want, I will diet when I want, and I will work out when I want. On the topic of dieting, no diets really work all that great. Well, I mean, they will. You'll lose the weight, but keeping the weight off is extremely difficult. By the time you've lost the weight, you've dug yourself into a mental emotional grave where you get set off so easily by ketosis fever, you start to fantasize about carbs. Not even fun carbs either. Something as boring as a graham cracker can become as decadent as cupcakes and donuts. And as soon as you hit a bumpy road in your relationship status, a few hard weeks at work, or a loss or stress in the family, well, food is always there for you. It can taste as good as sleeping during the day with fresh sheets and a fluffy pillow. Most good advice that is really worth its salt when it comes to weight loss is don't go on a diet. Just simply remove the bad things you are doing or that are happening to you in order to be more healthy. Weight will follow. This is a great start. Target the things that are hurting you in your life and making you feel depressed. I eat bags of confection sugar because my family calls me fat. But really, weight loss is entirely something that somebody who wants to lose the weight has to do. I'm pretty sure that if you took my entire life, all 33 years, and put it on a timeline of all the people I've ever had romantic interests in, you can pinpoint the exact times when I met somebody and became enamored, to the times where I pushed myself to undergo dramatic weight loss. It isn't a secret, and any amount of observation by even the simplest of perspectives can gather that I've lost tons of weight in the event I wish to impress somebody, and it has never worked. I have lost as much as 75 pounds when I felt a combination of wanting to impress a new person while at the same time spiting an old crush, and both things kind of just blew up in my face, and I gained a chunk of that weight back. I have countless experiences like this, and at this point, if I keep doing this goofy weight loss yo-yoing, I'll just be exhibiting Albert Einstein's exact definition of crazy. Not a single time in my own personal history of weight loss have I ever been motivated by somebody sternly telling me, you've gained weight. You should work out more often. Being made to feel bad about myself has never been a strong driving force for me. Now, spite, that's a whole other thing. You want to motivate me? Tell me I can't do it, rather than I should or that you want me to. The results will be drastically different, because fuck you, I will do it twice just to shove it in your face. Now exercise. Oh, exercise. I have been known to be a bit of a gym rat from time to time. I go in waves. When I was younger, I used to jog constantly. I was running all over the place. I kept my weight down, and it was nice. But getting up every morning to work out became something I simply detested. I hated it. Sure, I felt good afterwards, but after my shower, my hair would be wet all day long. I'd be a bit lethargic, and then I'd dread having to do it again the next day. Working out at night became a lot easier for me, mostly because it is so refreshing going into bed after a shower, and much better than simply existing with wet hair all day long. But if you recall my last video of time management, I don't have much time. And when a simple 30-minute trot on the treadmill still comes and goes with getting ready before the exercise and winding down into a shower, it's hard to do. I remember in college I would leave lab time to go for a good treadmill trot, which would cut into my animation time, as the animation department regularly closed at around 9 p.m. My teacher even warned me that this was not a good idea, that I had to spend as much time as I could on my projects to make the mini deadlines that I had in college. He even asked me something that kind of shook me at the time. Do you want to be an animator? It was as if I had working out and looking swole in one hand and being an established animator in the other, because animation and art take more time than we typically have in any given day. So now that I am in my 30s, I'm really observing that choice. Sure, I could look swole, but I've been swole before. Did that really land me an awesome gig? Not so far. It is all in my personality. But do I have the job I want? No. I have not been spending enough time on my portfolio in animation studies. At this time in my life, pursuing my passion to be an artist and entertainer is much more important to me than pushing my body to look like it should be on the cover of some sort of fitness magazine. And if somebody wants to not hire me because I don't look sexy, then would I really want to consider even working for a company that allows that behavior? I just want to pay my bills and not hate my life. It is really that simple. So after editing the first recording for this video, I realized that I forgot to mention a huge point that I'm sure some of you were thinking. One big factor that I nearly overlooked is that those who struggle with their weight find that others see them as unattractive, and because of this have to deal with a lot of rejection. But now, is this rejection greater than the rejection that just comes with the territory of dating? I don't know. I don't have the data to support this as a solid fact, though I'm sure that most who have dealt with a lot of rejection due to their weight feel that what they have experienced far outweighs the struggles and successes they see in their thinner friends and acquaintances. However, the dating scene is riddled with rejection and heartbreak for everybody. Just because you are thin does not mean you have a get out of jail free pass to avoid heartbreak and rejection. I get that I have a pretty unpopular opinion on this, but hear me out. I used to think this way. I used to think that if I got thin that I could have literally anybody I wanted. Here's where my biggest issue was mostly in my head and had nothing to do with my weight. You don't get people. You can't have them like a toy to play with or a piece of property to own. Thinking like that is one of the strongest routes to becoming a toxic partner, and I speak entirely from experience. This is a whole other person you have your focus on, with their own perspective, thoughts and feelings, and complicated garbage fire traumas that they have had to deal with without you before you even stepped into the scene. You can't just walk into their lives and just own them, or have them sweep you off your feet and soothe every trauma you've ever experienced, healing everything that has ever hurt you. That is your responsibility to yourself. You do that for you. And I suggest doing that before inviting somebody into your life to such an intimate degree. I obviously have a lot to say about this matter, so expect it in a separate video. My second big experience is something I mentioned earlier. If being thin means that you can win the affection of anybody and everybody, then every time I lost the weight, I should have won the affection I was after. And I was never successful on this. Worse still, I did have somebody I clamored after for years, only to wind up sleeping with them for a few nights after I lost the weight. Then they completely ghosted me. Like, nice, thanks for the hot body you work so hard on. Glad I got to touch it without any clothes on. You're a train wreck of emotional baggage that overwhelms my own mental toxic waste. I'm out. So I'm gonna do my best to explain something to you that you won't actually understand until it hits you on a personal level. Remember how at the beginning of this video I said, I have a whole horde of people who think that I'm awesome, and how none of those people mentioned my weight? I'm sure even a few of you watching this cringed a bit. It's always hard to take somebody else talking so highly of themselves like, yeah, sure, you believe that, but is it true? Here's my point. Being confident in yourself with good energy, a fun attitude, and having a lot going on for yourself far outweighs physical attraction. Don't get me wrong, physical attraction is still important. This isn't a situation with defined absolutes where one thing is 100% one way and another thing is 100% another way. Meeting somebody who finds you attractive for the reasons that you wish to be attractive for is really hard. You will always run into people who will find something about you that they just don't like, and you absolutely cannot force somebody to like you if they have said that they are not into you. This point will definitely be in a separate video. If your weight is pointed out by somebody who you may have had feelings for and they tell you it is the reason that they do not like you in the same way, then would you really want to be with somebody who makes or breaks a situation between you two just because of your weight? When I was thin, I had this exact problem, just from the opposite end of the spectrum. I found myself in relationships with people who didn't really give two shits what my personality was, what my interests and talents were, and because of that, I felt like my true self was neglected and completely overlooked. I was just a prop in their realm of existence and understanding, and if I ate too much for a few days or gained a bit of weight, it would get pointed out. It was like I had to keep up a charade, and it was exhausting. I want to have the opportunity to be myself in my own life, and as I get older, I feel less and less inclined to pretend that I always eat healthy, look stunning, and work out all the time. I want days, weeks, months, and even years where I get Taco Bell, drink beer while playing video games, sleep until noon, buy a birthday cake for myself, where I have nothing to celebrate other than I like cake. My weight has gone up and down so drastically in my life that it is hard to say where I'll be in the future at any given time. Maybe I'll continue getting Subway after work. Maybe I'll get a lot of good commissions and go back to being pescatarian or try vegan again. Maybe I'll get really motivated to run a marathon to support a friend. Who knows? My weight does not prevent me from doing anything. If I want to do something, I'll do it because I know I have the willpower to self-motivate, and that is what gives me the glow in my personality that people like to be around. I also just genuinely try not to be an asshole to people if it isn't warranted. It's amazing just how being pleasant and understanding to others can carry you through almost any situation. Anyway, I had a lot more ideas to throw into this one, but I've made this a pretty fat rant. So yeah, like and subscribe to my channel. Help me make my dreams come true by supporting my channel and everything I do. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.